We designate this as Project Man is from the very, very beginning, when we came together to do this, because it's like we were thinking we should talk something about the male identity.
We went through a few drafts, and each draft has a title for it.
Yeah.
So there were like conscriptions.
Great Escape.
And then for the June reading, it was the Great
Escape. Yeah.
And all these titles actually was there just so that we can clearly articulate what exactly we want to talk about.
Zhao, we thought that it was very suitable on some levels. One, Zhao, because the Chinese word Zhao, right, is so Dao and Ko. Dao and Ko, violence, verbal abuse. Then after that, Zhao, the notion of reckoning, calling back something. We actually don't need a title that translates the Chinese, because in the Singaporean context right now, a lot of our audiences are bilingual. Yeah. And the other one is this 手刀口 thing, it will definitely be lost in translation. When we translate it in Chinese, into English, then the thing will be lost. When the Coin Blows is okay, on the first level is an army song. You know also when the Coin Blows. Yeah. Then after that, on the other one is the notion of the wind blowing you, like a cold wind blowing you, the chilliness of a bad memory, the chilliness of something that you don't want to remember, the chilliness of a sort of a trauma. Yeah. So after that, we thought that Zhao and when the Coin Blows, actually they complement each other quite nicely. So after that, we just went along with that. For starters, Alvin provided us a very 清醒 kind of look at what we are doing. I remember being particularly helpful is him asking the difficult questions. Yeah, like, why do you want to do this? What do you want to say? How is this relevant? The other part of it is he guided us on some sessions on constructing the world of the play until very technical.
So he suggested, start using this as a jump board.
Yes.
Let's try to find out who is your character. Let's try to find out why your character needs to speak.
Yes.
Why your character has to say all this.
Yes.
Right here and now. Let's find out where are they. I mean, it's very important.
What is the context? Yes. It's very technical sometimes. Really very technical, but it's so fundamental. Very important.
And then when he brings us to the hot sitting, from the technicality, it becomes going back to the inside again. So we as actors, we have to hot sit ourselves. They can interrogate me. The two of them interrogate me. I have to say.
I remember the Catholic thing.
And then you tend to discover things about the character as well. Between the technicalities and really asking us as actors to go into that world and into that character.
Yep.
So that was basically what he did. And then we would churn out writings after writings.
Yes, writing
and
after
he was Victor the writing by asking us questions.
Yes. The first draft was from the first 6 months, where he wrote a lot of stuff, where I wrote a lot of stuff. Then we tried to put them together. So it ended up being two quite distinct characters. The second draft, after we gathered the feedback and stuff, and after that Alvin came in to work with us for a while. I remember one of the points that was brought out and we discussed was that these two characters, they are essentially the same perspective. I mean, it's fucked up.
I remember before Alvin left, we were discussing the possibility of two characters on stage. The first one, this character is a sergeant, and he is played by his recruit, who uses the system to play him.
Yep.
The other one, the other line, is this officer.
This guy's an officer, yeah.
Who is played by his OC.
Yeah.
So we got up, top down, and bottom up.
Yeah.
So you see how these two lines affect these two characters.
Yes.
Same but different, but still overall.
That was Xavier and Yo lah.
And then after he left, when it's up to us already. Sometimes it's hard to explain when we already decided on this thing already, right? And as we start to write about it, suddenly we thought, why don't we put these two things together in one container, which is Savior in this play? Put these two things onto this one person, make it more dramatic, let him experience the best of both worlds. And then we have a ghost. And the ghost was an inspiration because I was talking to Adib. And Adib was asking about our process, so I was telling him about this. And Adib said, so are you going to talk about ghost? So I said, hopefully not. And then he explained, well, there's a lot of ghost stories on Tekong because the ghosts are the manifestations of fears from the recruits. And that's why he told us, and it inspires us as well. Like, I shared with him, I said, Adib say that, like, can you imagine? I've never thought about it before. Very intrigued by this idea. It gives the possibility of why this character have to be on stage to say this out, because the ghost is turning around facing him. He has to speak it out, to exorcise him. First, we choose space.
Space, yes. We actually had, at first we wanted to do it in the black box. Yeah, but one thing was the cost, black box. Is the so after that, we were thinking here. Then by here, where, there. Then after that, but got mirrors, you know, the very strange, they got mirrors, and yeah. Then, but after that, we realized that the mirrors actually worked. The mirror actually works in a sense. So during our workshopping, after this space is settled, we actually spend some time exploring the mirrors. What does this mirror mean? We cannot just use it here and treat it like a neutral space, because it's not. Yeah, and the mirrors are very big. They are very big, you know, big vocab.
Directing wise is very hard because there's only the two of us. There's no outside eye. So I have to use an iPad to record down what we did, and then after that we finish already. We both of us look at the video, play back. And
what we rely on is our own awareness or own 意识 as actors, what we are doing on stage. But without this directorial eye, sometimes it's very challenging. On a very superficial level, there's no assurance. You don't know what you're doing. Then you look at yourself from the video, then you will feel very gross when you see yourself act. After that, yeah. So, and also I think the both of us, we are not experienced in directing. That we are both not at the level where, you know, we are very self-aware actors and directors. Yeah. So I would say that this is the most challenging part of the process. I think yesterday's feedback was very comfortable in the sense that people spoke their minds. Everybody was comfortable in talking.
True.
Yeah. And gave us some very 很用心的 feedback.
It's nice to hear how some of our female audiences reflect and talk about this play, how they receive this play. And previously, we don't really have a chance. Most of our members of our team are males until Yong and Karin comes on board.
Yes.
So that was very interesting. Yesterday's feedback also enhances what we already knew about our work. For example, some of them articulated about the Lord of the Flies theme that is very strong in this play, which we knew, but inherently we are not able to articulate it very clearly. So they help to do that. Some of them says, yes, I agree, I have such experience as well. We expected that because it's from our experience. Okay, but it's another thing to hear from them.
Yeah.
Some of them says, give feedback like, the two of you, what's so unique about the two of you? 小艺啦. So that was very interesting as well, because we didn't have time to think about that.
I think this process, me personally, I mean, up till now, learn more about. I mean, there's this therapeutic part, learn more about myself, whatever. But at the same time, I also learn a lot about my limitations as an artist. One thing is when I try to do sound design. Because I felt very strongly that we should have some sound. Then after that, he was trying to tell me that, but we don't know how to do it. Never mind, I tried after that.
Yeah, that was an argument. That was a nice argument.
I realized that I am the kind of writer that writes from here. So it's the stuff that come out is very 感性, very spur of the moment. But I do not have the patience or the what to go or to look at it and try to arrange it, try to 把它理成一个比较 logical, make sense 的这个东西。This, admittedly, I think Haiping is much better at doing this.
We started off from nothing. Nothing really means we don't have any methods. We don't have any system to guide us. We don't know where to start. So the starting was a bit rocky because it's too open and a lot of possibilities but too many. I was telling my friends yesterday as well that because of this process, I'm clearer about how I want to go about to write a script next time.
It's definitely a very luxurious process. I mean, how many people can have 8 months to work on something? So I mean, in our current culture or the context of our current scene, a lot of emphasis is placed on producing. Like 3 months, then you go produce. After that, you forget about it. But I think what we are doing here, because we do not need to rely on this to pay our bills. If you put things in the whole context, the risk is actually very low. So I think it's something that we want to take our time to do it better, to see how can we push it further. I think first we need to really sit down. Okay, I mean after this we will consolidate all the feedback. Then after that we will upload whatever we have done. We will archive it. My vision was that eventually this will be a proper production, like a full-fledged production. So, but when? My own personal feeling, if we were to continue this process, it won't be anytime so soon. Yeah, we will just, because it has been 8 months, a bit jelat, a bit too close. Yeah, so maybe we will let it rest for a while. After that, we will come back again. And the other thing is if we come back to it again, for instance, should we be the ones acting? What role do we play in the production? What kind of other collaborators do we want to bring in? So these are things that we have to discuss.
Well, in my original idea, the script definitely has to be, there has to be changes to be made to the script before we finally put it aside and say, okay, let's rest. And then just now I was asking him, and then he said, okay, let's take a rest, and after that we come back again. It can be next year, it can be 2018, that kind of thing. And I think it's an interesting process because people can work on the script for 8 months, and then after that quickly produce it and then get over and done with. That kind of thing. But we are doing it intense, and then an intense break. What happened during that time, you see? The longer you drag it, right, the more it won't be staged. The less possibility of it being staged. The less possibility of the two of us revisiting it. Because by then, who knows what will happen? Maybe I'll be too busy with other things.
Maybe I'll be selling insurance.
Maybe we come back and then we say, times have changed, we don't need this anymore. It's hard to say.